Alright, hey, it's Matt, BlindGuysGarage, and today's video is going to be on checking pushrod length. So this is an adjustable pushrod. I'm sure everybody's seen how you use these and all, but here's my way of using it. So what we'll do is, this is a small block Chevy. I'm going to start us at about 7,200, and then we'll go from there and kind of adjust this pushrod from that spot. Or, there's another way you can do it, but I'll show you once we get on the camera. Alright, so I like to start and work off of number 1 right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see me at all, but here's our pushrod checker. What we'll do is drop it down the number 1 hole right here, and we'll all know right off that we ain't long enough because we're not even above the guide plate. So now we'll start right here with the length checker and lengthen him out until he's a little bit above the guide plate anyway. Now we can adjust it from there. So now we'll take our rocker arm, bring him over and set him on the rocker right there. Set him on there. Then we'll take our nut, poly lock in this case. So now we have the the lifter on the cam at the lowest possible position. I'll zoom in here so you can see it's sitting lower than the exhaust side here, or sorry, the intake side on the small block Chevy. So this is the one we're checking. It's sitting at its lowest possible position, and now what we'll do is we'll come over here to the front and we'll adjust it until we're just a hair off center line backwards, and that'll get us close. Alright, and as you see right now, we're obviously not right because our valve cover gasket's kind of in the way, but the pin right here that holds the roller wheel is not even close to centered on the rocker arm. So what we'll do is we'll crack this jogger loose right here, and then we'll make the push rod longer, and you'll watch as we make it longer. See, as it gets longer. Let's see, let me just back this way off. All right, so as you make it longer, it travels across that's what it does essentially under pressure. It travels across the top of the valve. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make it a little longer until we're almost to the center. Almost, that's the key. We don't want to be at the center, we just want to be almost there. So we'll just keep going longer and longer and longer until we're almost centered. Looks like we're pretty close right there. And a little bit more. All right, right about there somewhere. That's where we're going to initially set it, and you'll run this thing down until it touches. And there's no clearance left. That's basically zero lash. And now we'll roll the motor over until it is at the peak opening point of the valve right there. All right, and now we'll roll the motor over until the valve's open to its max point. Here we go. Headed for that max valve opening. There it is. Now let's check the length real quick. Let's check it and see how close we are. Alright, and now we'll see that the valve, the rocker arm, is actually just barely past the center line right here. So that tells you to go a little longer. So now I'll back up and I'll bring you back in just a second. Alright, we got the valve at its max close point again. So what we'll do is we'll crack this thing open. We'll lengthen the push rod out just a hair longer. Then we'll tighten it back down. We'll check its angle and where it's sitting. Like I said, I use my phone for this. So I'll bring my phone in right here. Zoom in on it. And I will take a picture of it. And then we'll go to its max open point again. Alright, I don't know how well I will be able to see that on the camera, checking the length itself, or checking the valve, the angle right here. And that's the angle. I'm talking about the rocker arm right there and where it sits. See that? There it is. So what we're going to do next is we are going to back this motor back down to the lowest point on the camshaft, and then we will go and check this pushrod length and see what it is. Alright, so now we're going to show you how to measure a pushrod in properly. So we're going to use the wrong length dial indicator and the pushrod length checker. So since this is the wrong length dial indicator, what we're going to do is we're going to grab right here on the edge, and we're going to we're going to grab this, zero it. That's close enough. Check it here, start to finish here, and it should be roughly 5.5, roughly. All right, 5.54. Then we're going to check this length here, from here to here, and it should be roughly 1.34. .33. So 5.5 and 1.3 is 6.8. And then we're going to check this right here. And I'll have to get it off camera probably to double check it for sure. So then you'll check right here the center, there to there. And that's the thread measurement. And it's going to be 6.1. So, or 0.61. Alright, so 5.5 and 1.3 is 6.8, 0.61, and 6.8 is 7.4. So, having said that, 7.4 is the standard length for push rods for an LS engine. So, what we're going to do is we're going to try out this LS push rod, since I have a few laying around, and see if we want this length or just a hair shorter. Because like I said, that measurement process is not perfect, but it's close. So now let's try this push rod. And I'm probably not going to bring in the full thing, but I will bring in just to show you what it looks like on each spot. So, bring it back in just a second. Alright, and here's our 7400 push rod at no lift at all. So we're on the base circle of the cam, and as you can tell, it's close. It's really close. So the pin here is slightly off-centered. You can see the wheel on the cam right there and all. Slightly off-centered to that side over there, that way. So now, let's check it at full lift. Alright, and here we are at full lift on the cam. And you can see that this pin here is not quite centered. It's actually to that side of the cam. Valve top. So, could we use a slightly shorter push rod? Possibly. Maybe a 7.35. But this is really close, and we're probably going to run some 7400s in it. Not to mention, 7400 push rods are very available as it's an LS size. So, a set of good chromoly LS 7400 push rods in this little small block Chevy, good to go. So, I'm going to assemble it with these that I currently have in it, just to get it fully assembled and have all the parts out of the floor and that kind of stuff. But we will pull the push rods back out and put some 7400s in it. I don't know if that'll be before or after we run it on the run stand. But we can't leave these in here as they are not designed to be ran with guide plates. So that's it. So that is how you check push rod length on a small block Chevy. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. And I said push rod length on a small block Chevy. It's really push rod length on anything. It works about the same. You'll need different push rod length tools per each engine. So like the small block Chevy, this one I think goes from 6.8 to like 7.8 or something like that. This particular tool, and then you've got some that go from 8.5 to 9.8 and that kind of stuff. So there's quite a few different ones, but if you know roughly what you're looking at, you can get the right tool to start with. So hope y'all have enjoyed it, and like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment. I answer them all. Hope y'all have enjoyed it.